Hi, my name is John, and I recently found myself single again and back in the dating game. For my first date, I made reservations. That was real easy. But now that I found somebody that I'm really interested in, I wanted to impress her. You know, the problem is I really didn't learn how to cook. So I thought of my good friend Michelle.
Hi John, how are you? Nice to see you. It's been a long time.
Yeah, she's trained as a restaurant and New York City chef, graduating from the Culinary Institute and graduating from the restaurant school there. And I'm going to let her tell you a little bit about it.
Culinary Institute I went to, and also it's the New York Restaurant School, which is no longer the New York Restaurant School. I believe it's called Culinary Institute of the Arts in New York City. I'm going to show John an incredibly great, easy miso grilled Chilean sea bass and a couscous with dried cranberries and sesame grilled asparagus. And to top it off, I'm going to show him a really easy wow dessert. I'm going to show him a chocolate chip cookie dough that's put on a pizza pan, baked, and then served with fresh whipped cream and wonderful fruit. So he can wow his date.
Well, this sounds great. And she promised me it'd be simple so I could remember it for the future. That's great.
Hi, tonight I'm going to make for you a Chilean sea bass for a romantic dinner. You want to make sure you wash it really well in cold water. And I'm going to make a cooked marinade for you out of miso. Now miso is a brown rice soybean paste. It comes in different colors, white, red, and brown. In this miso marinade, I'm going to have also brown sugar, dark molasses, sherry, and a white wine. And I'm going to cook this for you. I'm going to measure it out right now. I want a cup of the brown rice miso. I'm making this brown rice miso marinade, which has to be cooked, and you want it to marinate either overnight or early in the morning, way before your date comes. So all the flavors will infuse into the fish. So I have a cup of the miso, 3 tablespoons of dark brown sugar, in this case I'm going to use a light brown sugar, and because I couldn't get dark brown, the only difference, it's dark brown, it has molasses in it. So I'm going to substitute molasses. I'm going to put in a tablespoon of molasses. That's the only difference between the brown sugars. Next I'm going to have a 1/4 cup of sherry. And 1/2 cup of white wine. I'm going to take it over to the stove and cook it. I'm going to cook this on a moderately medium-sized heat, and so everything mixes and becomes one with the sauce. It should take a couple of minutes to bring to a boil. I find it's easy to mash up the miso while you're cooking. You're going to want to let this cool slightly and then pour it over your fish to marinate. Then you're going to want to cover it and put it in the fridge. First I'm going to show John how to cut asparagus. Asparagus has a very woody tip on it. You feel that? And the easiest way to do it is you go to it, and when it snaps off, it's the point where it can be cut, and you want to discard that. So, but since I've been doing this for such a long time, you can actually cut down approximately the same amount through all of them. And this
makes
we're going to
sense.
marinate. For dating, for any dinner, when people especially really need an easy dinner, and you're working all day, you want stuff that's done way ahead of time, and all you have to do is the last minute prep work. I'm going to take a clove of garlic. You can smash it with your wrist, and it's really easy to cut up. Just one clove of garlic. Most people don't know that if you have a whole head of garlic that looks like this, even though this is a shallot, one clove means one little piece out of it.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. I always thought it was the whole bundle with the clove. Okay.
Okay, so there's my asparagus and the garlic. Next I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of sesame oil. In this case it's dark.
Sesame oil.
Sesame oil. Especially in the summertime, you really want to use the grill because it's too hot outside. Then we're going to use 1 tablespoon of soy sauce. And salt and pepper later, right before I'm going to grill this. So this is already ready to go. You can put it in the refrigerator in the morning so that when you can't come home later on, it's all ready to go. Next I'm going to show John how to cut up a shallot. Shallot's a small onion. The best thing to do is to really try and get your prep done way ahead of time, all set up for you. And make sure this brown skin is totally off. Shallots have a much finer taste to them than normal onions. So shallots have one side part is root on the one side, and you want to cut down to the root with a knife. Watch your fingers. And then cut through it.
So does it matter which way you do it?
No, if you don't do it the root side first, it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
And the other way.
I love onions. That's great. Shallots.
Next I'm going to show you, get ready for the couscous ahead of time. We're going to use the whole box in this case. 2 cups of water. Going to put a chicken bouillon cube in this. You could substitute chicken stock for the water instead, but since we had this in the house, I'm just going to use that. And either a tablespoon of olive oil, which I'm going to use in this case, or butter or margarine. This will be ready on the stove for our dinner later on. It can just sit there for hours. I'm going to show John a really easy, wowing dessert. It's going to be a cookie dough pizza, and with fresh whipped cream and fresh fruit on the top. I'm going to use this cooking spray on the pizza pan. Then I'm going to take this cookie dough, already pre-made cookie dough, and push it into this pizza pan. You want it to be a little bit soft. So it spreads out really easily, and you want to make sure it's really even on the pan. This takes only about 10 minutes at a 375 preheated oven to bake. And mostly everybody loves chocolate chip cookies. Since the dough is very soft, I'm going to need to refrigerate it to firm it up again so it doesn't ooze out all over the pan when it's baking. Again, use the palm of your hand, press the dough down so it looks like this, nice and even, and I'm going to put it in the refrigerator for a little while and come back to it later when it's firmed up a bit. Next I'm going to prep the strawberries for the fruit pizza. You want to cut off the end and then slice down through the whole strawberry, set them aside for later. But you're going to have to chill the pizza dough, cookie dough, after it comes out of the oven.
Chill it after it comes out of the oven? But isn't that going to cool it off?
You want to cool it off.
Okay.
So the whole trick of this dinner is as much prep ahead of time as you can do.
How long does the prep work usually take?
For a dinner like this, start to finish, I would say a good hour.
Well, that's not bad.
It's not bad, even though it seems like a lot of steps. Next, for the fruit pizza, this is called a kiwi, for those of you who don't know. Kiwis are usually native to places like New Zealand, and they're shipped into this country. It's got a very fuzzy outer skin that you have to cut off. Cut off the little end piece on both sides. And then I find it easier using a small paring knife to peel away the skin.
How about an apple peeler? Will that work also?
Not as well as a paring knife,
Okay.
so I found. You want to cut down nice even slices, and this has a nice, really pretty design to the kiwi, which looks really nice on this fruit pizza. The trick with kiwis is you don't want them too soft or too hard. So again, I'm going to set it aside. This is my prep. I've got raspberries, blueberries, strawberries, and the kiwi. And after the cookie dough cools, I'm going to spread whipped cream on it and then put the fruit on top of it, and then it'll be back in the refrigerator ready for the dessert for later. I'm going to put this cookie dough pizza in a preheated 375-degree oven. It'll take approximately about 10 minutes, but you got to check to make sure it's cooked in the inside. Timers are essential in the kitchen, especially in baking. This is a perfect one at times 3 individual items of cooking at the same time. So if you're baking something in the oven, if you're stirring something on the stove, whatever, this is priceless to have.
What is it?
$3.75. As you can see, the cookies pizza is baking, and different ovens run different temperatures. I just turned this down a little bit to 350 from 375 because I noticed that the edge is baking a little bit faster than the rest of the cookie itself. And I can tell that it needs a little bit more time in the very center. So I'm going to check it again in another, say, 3 minutes. As you can see, it's nicely even golden brown. So I'm going to take it out of the oven. Now I'm going to show you how to garnish this cookie dough pizza.
Now, is that real whipped cream?
This is real whipped cream, and I'm trying to get these little rosettes to come out of this. You can make this from scratch with heavy cream and vanilla.
No, I want to make it as simple as possible.
Right.
Well, that's very pretty.
And now we get to play with the fruit. This is where I like to make a kaleidoscope. So think of it as decorating a piece of art.
Yeah, I heard about visual presentation. This is nice.
I have an art background, and I like to make the food very pleasing to the eye.
It's neat the way the kiwi fruit, the way you cut it, it shows all the little grains in there.
Right.
It's very pretty.
People like to go, "Oh my God, what did you do?" Little did they know you didn't do much. So we'll alternate. Let's see. Over here. These raspberries are the best.
Now, you use almost any fruit, but this is good for this time of year because
Right.
it's all ripe. I like blueberries.
We'll fill in with the blueberries. Fruit pizza. Piece of kaleidoscope. Next I'm going to get ready the couscous, the sauteed shallots, and the cranberries and with thyme. I'm going to put in a little bit of olive oil. Shallots. Some dried thyme. I'm going to put some dried cranberries in with the couscous. They'll rehydrate for later. You want these to become translucent. This you can just set aside on the stove for later when you want to, after the couscous is cooked, that you can just throw it in when the couscous is ready. Now I'm going to add the cooked shallots. This you sit on the side of the stove, off the heat, so all the water goes into the couscous or stock. Some salt and pepper to taste. I'm going to spray the grill.
Whoa!
I'm going to put the asparagus on in this direction so they don't fall through.
That's always a good thing.
They do make grill accessories for vegetables. But in this case, however, this will have to do. It doesn't matter if they end up charring, because they're more tasty that way. They're like this.
Now the grill should be on medium heat?
Medium heat for the asparagus.
How long should you marinate it for?
This you can marinate an hour ahead of time, or else early in the morning.
Okay.
Of course, I'm going to marinate in my dish. If you find afterward that you might want more flavor, you could just add a little bit more soy sauce. You can put salt and pepper on it. Salt, it depends upon your taste. Spicier, you can add some more sesame oil. So you pretty much want them to look like this finished, like so. No. You want to get the char-broiled effect.
Okay. I'll see you and I'll raise you one.
Okay. Now I'm going to put the miso marinated Chilean sea bass on the grill. I'm going to cook for about 8 to 10 minutes each side. We'll lower the lid so it'll cook more. It gets this nice crust on it. You like this fish a little moist in the middle?
No idea. Thank you.
Where am I sitting?
You did all this for me. Thank you very much. That really is nice.
My pleasure.
Cheers.
Salud.